Well, you know what? I'm going to go serverless. All right, so we're going to go old school here. So my talk is going to be a little less technical and a lot less flashy than the first couples. I put this together probably at lunch today, but I think it's a topic that encompasses all the services, no matter what you're using. So my name is Eric Haupt. I'm a senior systems engineer with Maxim Healthcare Services over here in Columbia Gateway. We're a healthcare staffing company. We provide nurses and healthcare providers to home healthcare clinics and all that. I'm new there, and we're just dipping our toes in AWS there, though I've been working on it for a couple of years, with AWS for a couple of years. So let's see. Gentleman earlier who was talking about well-architected framework, AWS just came out with a tool called the Well-Architected AWS Well-Architected Tool. So I wish I was more prepared. I apologize. Getting this on the screen for you here. It is a tool that you can find here. And what I'm going to talk about is what it does, but more importantly, what it doesn't do, and how you could use it with your own workloads and in your own companies to get to a better place, to show your management where you are with things. And it's basically a tool that provides a set of questions around the 5 pillars of AWS best well-architected practices. It's actually a total of, 46 questions. So you may or may not be familiar with it, and if I had it on the screen, you could clearly see that the 5 pillars are operational excellence, security, reliability, performance efficiency, and cost optimization. So in your account, you can go down and you can find this tool, and when you bring it up, it'll ask you to put your account number in, but I'm not really sure why, because it doesn't actually look at your account. It doesn't look at your resources, but it's just so that it can keep track of it if you have multiple accounts. What it's going to do is going to walk you through a series of questions for each of these pillars, and it's going to ask, are you doing this? Are you doing that? And I'll give you some examples in just a second. And it gives you a place to put your notes in, and in the end, it compiles all this for you, comes back and says, here's some vulnerabilities, and gives you a mechanism where you can track it and go back, make corrections, make changes to your environment, note those. So it's an auditing tool almost. What it won't do, as I mentioned, it's not going to tell you which S3 buckets are public. It's not going to tell you anything about your IAM rules, and where your security's problem. It's not going to give you cost optimizations, but it's going to ask you questions that you may not have thought of when you deployed your resources, so that with each of those questions, it's going to have a link and a short video and connections to resources, white papers, best practices, so that you can then go through, learn a little bit more about it, come up with a plan, follow their best practices, implement it. Then you go through and answer the questions again, annotate what you've changed, and it gives you a record so that you can track what you're doing, show your management, show your auditors, whoever, that, yes, we're following best practices, and here's how we're doing it. So what you get is a report like this, but the report, and again, it's just a listing of the questions and what your answers were. Mine was 53 pages. I only printed the first few, but just to show you. So I was just at re:Event. It sounded like a great, tool, and it can be a good tool. Like any tool, it's how you use it. But instead of coming up here and doing a very technical talk and trying to squeeze into 3 minutes, I can't talk that fast. Just wanted to find a topic, something I tested since I got back, and sort of mixed feelings on it. But again, like any tool, use it for how it's best for your situation. The questions did make me think and say, oh, yeah, I'm not really doing that. And I had to check no. So let's see, one quick example. I'm over it? Yeah. Okay, sorry. Let's see, one of the questions here. How do you manage credentials and authentication? If everybody can see. So what it'll do is it'll give you a little video here, 1-minute video, and some suggestions. It defines what the question is pretty nicely. So I recommend go in. It took me about half an hour to go through the questions and fill them out. Might be something worth your while, to get a handle on your architecture. And you can do it. It's set up by workloads. So you don't have to be all-encompassing for your organization or your account. you can do it by individual workloads, and it's designed that way. Thank you.